Welcome back to Prime Edition. Our socials at
KBC Channel 1 on X, Facebook and YouTube. Continue talking to us. We'll be able to sample some of the views at the end of this broadcast. Onto an item on biodiversity. Tom.
Africa policymakers are being urged to implement science and data-driven solutions suggested to them by regional centers of excellence on biodiversity, food security, and also climate resilience.
The calls were made during the annual Africa Regional Centers of Excellence Forum, where the Center for International Forestry Research and World Agroforestry's Africa Director, Peter Minang, said leveraging on data-driven solutions provides a platform for a sustainable future.
That's right. Africa and the European Union have partnered on a 10-year work plan worth 80 million euros spread across 8 years to facilitate Sub-Saharan Africa's green transition and sustainable development.
Here is that report.
The annual Africa Regional Centers of Excellence Forum brought together policymakers, researchers and regional leaders from Africa and the European Union to explore how science, technology and innovation can be leveraged to accelerate the continent's green transition and sustainable development. Under the theme safeguarding Africa's forest, biodiversity and ecosystems to enhance food and water security and drive climate change mitigation and adaptation on the continent, speakers called for actionable policies.
The importance of translating scientific research into political action. We are doing a lot of publication, but most of the time these publications are staying only at the level of university. And it's time now for this publication to be very useful for decision making.
To try to create a little bit more of a political push to highlight the importance of science and innovation.
They further urged African policymakers, research institutions and development partners to adopt a more integrated and coordinated approach towards managing the continent's biodiversity and ecosystems, warning that failure to take urgent action could lead to serious repercussions.
The clock is ticking. I mean, a sort of 94% of Nairobi's water is coming from the Aberdare. If we don't conserve the forests in the Aberdare, we are not going to drink water in Nairobi.
The green transition is no longer an option. It's no longer an option for Europe. It's no longer an option for Africa. And it's not an option elsewhere.
While lauding the support from the European Union, delegates emphasized that credible data, accurate knowledge and effective monitoring systems are essential for evidence-based policy making.
Our economies don't depend on one thing. They depend on all of these sectors to be able to move forward. I mean, for Kenya, for example, I mean, if the forests go away, and there's no water, we wouldn't have the Mao, we wouldn't have the forest, we wouldn't have the nice game reserves that tourists visit and give our country, Kenya, the revenues that we get from tourism.
They also stressed the mainstreaming of nature-based solutions and sustainable land use practices in policy making for Africa to enjoy long-term benefits for both its people and the planet. Yusuf reporting for Prime Edition.